Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another movie reaction. Today, we're going to be hopping into another one that has been hyped up on the Patreon community. And if you guys don't know what the Patreon community is, definitely get yourself associated with because they are killing it with these movie recommendations. I am today going to be stepping into The Florida Project. Now, I haven't heard anything about this film. I never once heard the words The Florida Project come out of anyone's mouth, so I'm going into this ultra blind. From what I can kind of see, William Dafoe's in it, so that's about as much as I kind of know before hopping into it. But yes, I heard a lot of great things about it, and the Patreon community has been preaching for this, especially on the Patreon polls. And if that's something that you're kind of interested in and you want to be involved with the Patreon polls, definitely check out that link below. But yes, I mean, the community over there, they have been killing it, so I'm excited to kind of jump into this as well. You guys let me know your thoughts on this. Obviously, I haven't watched it yet, but tell me if you guys really liked the film, what you guys didn't like about the film. Let's just have like a really good conversation down below. But yeah, really excited to get started with this. And I just also want to say thank you to everybody in this community. It's growing really fast, and it's really difficult to keep up, but like I'm really just excited that everybody is now tuning in and everybody's just associating themselves and conversating, and it's just a really good group we got going on here. So I can't thank you guys enough. But without further ado, I'm kind of excited to jump into this. Like I said, I always do my best to jump into these things blind as possible and give an authentic reaction, and also maybe help show some appreciation to either the direction or the coloring and the cinematography, the acting, all that good stuff. You guys seem to be really enjoying this as much as I do, so which is awesome, by the way. So without further ado, I'm going to stop talking. Let's hop right into the Florida Project. So I wonder if it's going to be primarily focusing on these child actors, which is always a difficult thing to do because, I mean, they're child actors, but, I mean, what we've seen from movies like The Witch, these actors are pretty dang cool. They're really able to tap into whatever narrative a film is, and yeah, I mean, that's just good direction on the director's part and everybody associated with that film. I'm really digging this color grade and the vibe of it. Like, the colors are super lush, and I'm pretty sure Florida definitely helps out with that because it's so tropical and green, but there's something like a nice, gritty, lush vibe to it. There's such a purple haze to it. Like, even if you notice, if you look at like the sky and obviously in the cinematography and the framing, like the color purple is like everywhere. Like even in the sky almost. Yeah, it's crazy. I love what they're doing. They're really showcasing everything within this motel. Like, you're getting a whole sense of like the atmosphere just by where these kids are going and all the trouble they're causing, basically. Like, I'm really interested in what this narrative is going to take place in. Because apparently it got really good reviews too, so I'm really excited to see what this is about. And I love how this is being shot almost like right now. Like, it's like documentary style. The camera's floating and, it's breaking like the 180-degree rule and everything like that. It's just capturing a 360 essence of everybody. The acting is almost like they're talking over each other. It's almost similar to in Uncut Gems or in Good Times where they just overlap each other with the dialogue. Super authentic. It's like you're just there capturing that moment.
She didn't pack any for you?
No. My mom makes mistakes all the time.
Well, you needed that right now. We like.
Man, the color purple is just like everywhere. Like, I wonder why. It's super aesthetically pleasing to me. Like, some of these shots, despite how gritty it feels, it looks, I don't know, it looks like almost like a fantasy world, you know?
They fucking chose Simone. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yo, they're doing a really good job at like this style of documentary filmmaking.
Fuck that.
Like,
Second that I'm manager.
it's a really good blend of, obviously, you know, they're using cameras and everything like that, and I'm sure like they're capturing the audio with like boom mics and all that, but it still feels authentic. Like, everything about this just feels super authentic. And I think the color grade really reflects that.
Okay, what are you playing? You didn't answer my question. What are you playing?
Relax. Your daughter is safe in my hand. And my hands.
Yo, like, what? How do they get these kids to act like this? Like this is, like, this feels extremely real, like, and authentic. I'm like really loving this.
This is where we get free ice cream.
I love how they're showcasing some of these establishments. It looks like they shot it off of an extremely wide angle lens. Hence why, you know, they're able to capture everything, but it's like a slight distortion where the center is almost like poking towards us.
I'm a cousin and I'm going to get the last bite to you. The man who lives up here finds
It's so interesting how the camera angle is like obviously at their height level. So everything around them is just like, it's just super ginormous. Like when the adults walk by, you can almost barely see their faces. It's really showing it from like the children's perspective.
Drama's over, folks. You got your power back. And use your TVs, VCRs, AC.
I don't know why I really like his role here. Like this is different. This is really different for me. But like, he's just great. Oh man, Willem Dafoe, man. And even then, like, the camera angle was low on him when he was walking.
She looks pretty. Yeah. But I feel bad for her. She's about to cry.
Oh, man. It's just so interesting, like, watching it from their perspective. Like, I'm liking how they're shooting this. I'm not sure if I can go in great detail on why I like it and why it makes sense. But from what I'm feeling right now, I really love how they're shooting it. It's interesting. It like kind of almost reminds me of like a Quentin Tarantino feel, just the way some of these camera angles are and how this film looks. I feel something related to that. Wow, that's a gorgeous shot, by the way. Whoa. This right here almost reminds me of Moonlight. Just how the color grading is. And how the shadows look. I love that they're using a lot of natural lighting as well.
Come on, Scooty! Come on! Come on, Mooney, come on! Hey, Scooty!
I really love that shot, how it was just kind of like tracking them as they go throughout this motel. Obviously, the colors are gorgeous, but it's just really nice seeing this. Like, it just feels so real. I don't know why I keep saying that. Well, I do know why I keep saying it. It's just, I can't get over it. Like, I'm kind of shocked by how authentic this feels.
Perfume?
Ma'am?
You want to buy some perfume?
Not really, she might.
No, it smells like designer. We're having a really good deal.
I wonder if this part of it was real. It probably isn't, but I'm not sure. They're not showing like, you know, full clarity of these people's faces. But guys, this is how real this thing feels like. Like, what the heck? Like, that feels like extremely authentic dialogue.
Take whatever you want. Just grab whatever you want out of there. There you go,
I
guys.
got the gun. Dad, please!
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, at the motel, I mean, even the people that live there, they don't necessarily live there. It's usually just like in and out, whether you live there about like anywhere from 2 months to 2 years, but it's never really staying.
Hi, kids.
Okay, I'm gonna play. Good.
Are you having fun?
I didn't like the vibe of that.
What's your name?
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's a creepy vibe right there.
You come to a motel to get a soda?
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
No,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Come with me.
Yeah, handle that ASAP. I did not like that.
At that pallet, right?
Yeah. I never did get used to the humidity here.
It's okay. Machine's up there.
See, like, man, he's like, what? I'm starting to understand why he wanted to probably do this shorter film. Like, his acting is it's so good. It's so good. You can just tell in his eyes
Tea.
and his mannerisms. How his hand is still on his back, kind of just like, yo, don't look back at those kids.
I'm gonna call your name. Into the county sheriff. Now you get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Hey, yo, I love how that was handled. So creepy. Ew.
I'm a gentleman, you are. Yeah.
Wow. Yo, man, I love these shots here. Like, I can't get over them. They're so good.
Right now.
And the colors, man. Like, it does remind me a little bit of Moonlight, how they were able to just bring out those colors. It's so lush. Like, Florida is filled with that. It's almost as if, like, Florida is like a cousin of Brazil or something. Oh, gosh. Something bad happened. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. They probably set, like, the whole place on fire. Yeah, it's super interesting how the tourism aspect of Florida compared to what I would like to say the real side of Florida, like, you know, down in the detail is just like they're almost colliding. And you see hints of it, obviously, tourism conflicting with, you know, the actual residents of Florida. It's crazy how, like, that helicopter is still, like, always in the background. That tourism, man, like,
Come on.
it's crazy. Like, it's so interesting to see Florida like this. Because, honestly, when I think of Florida, I think of, like, Miami and
Hey, April.
Disney and Tampa, and that's honestly about it. But, you know, just like in my previous discussions about, like, you know, movies that capture the smaller towns or, you know, the real places of whatever it's trying to capture, it's definitely different from what's usually showcased on movies or advertisements.
To you and your child. No wonder you're in this situation. Please leave the property. Right now, leave.
Man, yo, these situations are, oh man, these situations are so, like, unsettling to watch.
That's a turkey roaster. What the fuck is it, Thanksgiving out here? You got some cranberry sauce too? Shit. I make some things, but Lunchables are like $1.
Man, yo, I mentioned it previously, but this style of capturing like a narrative or just documenting something, I think a lot of people probably would think that it's easy to do. It's really not. There's a lot of technical and editing aspects that are happening, like overlaying edits and overlaying audio edits over like the visuals and getting different perspectives, and it's like trying to make a montage over and over and over and over again. So like anybody who's an editor would appreciate how actually difficult, you know, on a technical level, capturing a documentary style narrative for like a movie is. It's there's a lot of things happening that usually goes over people who don't understand.
It's going to be a big surprise. And oh, baby,
Man, but I will say Florida is beautiful.
the rainbow is gold.
See?
I know. And
Florida
like
is
a
beautiful
leprechaun
because
is
it's
on
like
the edge.
it has such tropical weather. Like it could be raining for like 20 minutes and then sunshine out of nowhere. Like it's like the clouds there are phenomenal. Anybody who's around Florida would definitely tell you, like, I mean, I think Florida has the best clouds I've ever seen. Oh man, she's starting to not really be around her daughter, like helping her bathe and everything. So I'm kind of worried that she's out doing, I guess, whatever it takes to get some money. But she's clearly not around. Like, look at this shot, man. Like, what? Man, Florida is gorgeous. I need to go back there. Well, when things settle down. But,
Mommy, look at us.
yeah, like, this place is, like, it's incredible. The hues from the colors are just, oh, man, it's so awesome.
What kind of car are you driving? All right.
Yep.
Room 323, babe.
That's rough, man. Absolutely rough. I just hope nothing bad happens, you know? So with that type of stuff, it's just like, I don't know, man. It's sketchy.
Bathroom is off limits. Out. Oh, the curtain room. Whatever. Out. Moon, I'll be right back, okay?
I love how they shot that, too. I mean, they didn't show, obviously, the guy that, you know, was in the room. It was just kind of still focusing on, like, the child's perspective.
Thanks. Give him the bands, Moon. Give the man the bands.
Have a great time.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Thank you.
My man just had 400 cash just chilling in his wallet. What? Is that how y'all roll out in Florida? Well, maybe you guys do. I'm not too sure.
Take a fancy one.
Let's buy it. Give me that.
Look at what else they have. Cotton balls.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just really hope that doesn't just come back to bite them, you know? I'm just always afraid that something like that could happen.
Magical band. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
She went in my stuff. She lifted.
Those moments, like when the camera's just on the child and you hear like the craziness in the background, it's, I don't know, it's interesting.
You can tell him what your business was on the premises.
4 bracelets. I imagine they were for your wife and children, yeah?
Wow. Dude, William Dafoe's like acting when those moments happen. When he kind of like stands up for people, it's like,
Don't worry about it.
oh man. I love his role in this. And I love how like it's not hyper focused on him as well. Don't get me wrong, he's a huge, big time actor, but I love how he's just playing the role. Like he's living within the role. Oh, snap. Yo. Holy crap, man. What the heck?
You wait right here, okay?
Why is my mom yelling?
She's just talking to these ladies. James, you go home. You go home now, okay?
Come on, Mooney.
Oh, man. So I'm thinking like they might want to probably take her kid away. Ah, man. This whole situation is just... it's complicated.
And a little bit.
A couple minutes, okay?
Just Mooney.
Like, you see how that frame is right there? Like, how it's cutting off, like, you know, her, like, the adult's upper face.
Can you tell me what kind of stuff you do every day, Mooney?
Because, like, you know, things that I ask myself when I'm watching movies like this is, like, why do they frame it that way? You know? Like, out of all the places, why would they position the camera here?
What stuff do you like to do with your friends?
And I think that's something that you guys could probably ask yourself, too, on your second viewing. Or maybe your first.
I'm going to eat a strawberry and a raspberry at the same time.
I love how how this looks right here.
Man, oh man, that's gross. I wish they made forks up.
Like with the wide angle, and they probably set it to where the aperture is very, very low. That's why you get some of that in and out of focus blur. It makes the picture look really soft. Very playful, very innocent.
Why don't you take Mooney outside so you can talk to Haley private?
Like those shots, I think I'm understanding why those shots are being shot the way that they are. It's because if you remember, like almost as a kid, you know, it's like adult talk. You kind of just listen. You don't understand, but you feel something's wrong. It's concern.
Stop! You're such a liar! Don't touch me! Stop!
This back and forth between just like, it's like chaos, man. It's so sad.
Please. You're scaring me. You're my best friend, and this may be the only time I'm going to see you again.
Oh man, dude, jeez. Wow, they just walked right up into Walt Disney. Oh snap. And that's the Florida Project. Whoa. All right, everybody, we just got done watching the Florida Project. I'm gonna say this was probably the most fascinating watch on the channel so far, and we watched some interesting things, but the reason why this one really piqued the scale on this is not only because of how this story was brought to me. I mean, it's so interesting. This whole thing is like, it was such an interesting watch, guys. Like the way the narrative was able to kind of, it was guerrilla style. Like it was just showcasing a day, or not a day, but the life of whatever it was, you know, from like this child's perspective, really. And I really liked it. I mean, I can see how some may say, oh, well, I don't understand the theme of it or the point of it and everything like that. But I think the point of it was just to showcase, like, I mean, me, if I were to take a stab at it, just how different we see. I mean, just like for Florida, you know, like this was a different side of Florida, and I talked about it a little bit more in the actual video. But like the way that it was shot, the authenticity, the acting. I mean, this was scary good acting, scary good, like to the point where I was so captivated. It felt like I was intruding into someone's life without permission. Especially with some of the social issues that kind of were brought to us. And I love how it didn't dive deep into it. It just kind of took it for what it was. And I think the ending really took advantage of that, especially with, like I said, how it ended. This was a really interesting watch. Like, I mean, my goodness. I mean, like the acting is what really stood up for me. Like I was absolutely blown away by it. This was incredible on that regard. And the cinematography was just as good. It was so real and authentic, and it wasn't Hollywood. It took you down to the roots, and it showed you almost, like I said, documentary style. Day in the life, you're in this and you can't really look away. And it didn't hold back. You know, it took it for what it was. And that's pretty beautiful. Like, you know, when you see something for its rawness, for its realness, you know, when you take it without any polish look to it, there's some real emotions, some real gems that can really be uncovered through that way of storytelling. And I think this is another reason why I promote storytelling in all the videos in my channel, is because of how important it is. You know, you don't need to have, you know, some crazy blockbuster idea. You don't need to have, you know, this incredibly expensive budget. You just have to be able to capture a feeling. And in order to do that, all you need is what's up here and what's in here, and the will to go out there and capture it. And I think, like, being able to do that, take it for what it is. You can take it, and it doesn't have to be polished. It can be gritty. It can be very real. It can be, you know, it's just interesting. Like, this was a breath of fresh air to watch, and I was not expecting this, but I'm really happy that I was able to watch something like this. It's really inspiring in all types of ways. You know, I'm still flabbergasted by it. Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for kind of sticking around and seeing my commentary reaction to the Florida Project. Tell me what your thoughts on it. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. I know this film probably is just different, and that's good. I'm happy that it's different. I'm happy that it's not cookie cutter. So let me know your thoughts on it as well. I highly recommend probably the full length version to this. For those of you who are interested, definitely check out that Patreon below. But again, like always, guys, thank you for watching. For those of you who stick to the end, thank you as well. And yeah, we're just getting started. Stay healthy, stay hydrated, because like I literally just said, we are just getting started.
Purple jacket, pocket full of weed. Everything that I should ever need. Grab some matches cause they give them free. Just like my time. Hair pulled back in the backseat.